Good morning. Well, in case you haven't noticed, we are all getting older. Baby boomers are turning 65 years of age at a rate of 10,000 per day. All the more reason to talk about the legacy retirement communities every Saturday morning here on KFOR on The Aging Adventure with John Kopetsky and Kathy Blythe, brought to you by Legacy Retirement Communities. John is Executive Director of Legacy Terrace at 5700 Fremont Street, and Kathy brings her love of the legacy and devotion to seniors to this show every Saturday morning. John and Kathy, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dale.
Well, this morning, Jen Stickney will join us. Jen is Director of Legacy Home Care at Legacy Retirement Communities. On her mind, understanding home care. That's coming up on The Aging Adventure after we bring in Antonio Marino, commander of the Lincoln Veterans Parade, which will be held Sunday, November 7th here in Lincoln.
Antonio, I never served in the armed forces, but I understand you are a Marine. Can I still say Semper Fi to you and welcome?
Oh, yes, certainly can. Semper Fi. Hoorah.
So you want to tell us a little bit about your background, where you served when you were in the Marine Corps?
I enlisted in 1999 and into the Marine Corps and got stationed in Camp Pendleton, California. And then in my last third part of my enlistment, I served in Okinawa, Japan.
Well, thank you for your service and for doing so much to preserve our freedoms. So the theme for this year's Veterans Parade is Welcome Home Vietnam Veterans. How did you arrive at that theme?
Well, last year was the supposed to be the theme, and it had been 45 years since the official end. The official end of the Vietnam War. So since we had to cancel that event last year, we carried it over. Have everybody was welcoming to come back over, and it's just a thank you to our Vietnam veterans that didn't quite get the welcome home they got. Well deserved.
Well, it's wonderful that you're putting them in the spotlight the day of the Veterans Parade. And of course, we want to reiterate a few times during the show today that will be on November 7th at 2 p.m. Tell us about some of the ceremonial things that you have planned to start things off.
We have a opening ceremony that's going to happen at the Capitol building. So after the parade line starts, they will stop center at the Capitol building. The grand marshals and the honored guests will exit their vehicles and climb the stage, take their seats. Roy Christensen will do opening remarks. Then UNL President Ted Carter will do a opening speech. The Lincoln High marching band will perform the national anthem. Then after the last note, the lead color guard will face forward and then continue the parade line. And then the rest of the parade line will follow.
Having Ted Carter involved is especially appropriate given he had a long career in the military.
Yes, he was a admiral in the Navy.
What is the specific route?
So the route is on K Street. It will start at South 21st Street. That's by Lincoln High. And then it'll go westbound to the Capitol building and end at South 14th Street, where it'll turn south and disband.
Now, I know you have grand marshals, two of them this year. Can you tell us about those two gentlemen and how they were chosen?
Certainly. Both of them are Vietnam veterans. They are also on the board for the Vietnam Veterans Reunion here in Nebraska. The first one is Roy Schoen. He was a first lieutenant in the Army and served in the 101st Airborne until he was then served in the brigade operations at Camp Eagle. And then the second one is John Beckenhauer. He was a full bird colonel in the Army and highly decorated, flew Huey gunships and Chinook helicopters. He was wounded 3 times, shot down 3 times in his 3-year tour in Vietnam. And to this day, he holds the most combat flights time in a Chinook helicopter in the U.S. Army.
It's amazing.
Outstanding.
And he's from Lincoln?
Yes.
And we have a hero in our midst that we were not aware of. That's amazing. Shot down 3 times and was able to get back here to Lincoln and spend the rest of his life. That's awesome. The Vietnam veterans, and you alluded to this a little bit in the opening remarks, really didn't get the maybe the welcome back home that they did. I know my dad served in World War II, and he often commented on how the welcome he got home when he came home was very different than the Vietnam vets. That's something that really still resonates even almost 50 years after the end of the war.
Yes, it does. And it really hurts my heart that they went through that and still kind of go through that.
Well, we will continue with Antonio Marino. We have lots more to come. How you can watch the parade, how you can actually participate and be in the parade, or maybe you're feeling some volunteerism to help them out that day. We'll tell you all about that in just a moment. You're listening to The Aging Adventure on KFOR, brought to you by the Legacy Retirement Communities.
We're back on The Aging Adventure, brought to you by Legacy Retirement Communities on KFOR. I'm Dale Johnson with John and Kathy. Our conversation today is with Antonio Marino, and we focus on the Lincoln Veterans Parade coming up Sunday, November 7th.
Antonio, before the break, we mentioned we have lots of opportunities for people to get involved. If they would like to actually be in the parade, what are you looking for, and how can they get involved?
Well, certainly. We are looking for proud people, businesses, and organizations to show honor and thanks for our service members. Anything is welcome. The only restrictions we have is no politics. So no campaigning, no politicians or anything like that.
Well, it could be a great family activity, couldn't it?
Oh, yes.
Get the kids involved?
In 2019, we had lots of kids lining the streets with their parents, lots of families. It was just a beautiful sight going down the parade line.
Are there other volunteer opportunities for folks to help out in organizing or staging the parade?
Yes, there are still volunteer opening. We have a lot of attendant positions still needing to fill. Parade line pacer positions, which are stationary positions. And then if you want to join the planning committee, we would certainly welcome your help. My biggest things right now are marketing and social media. So having a few people to delegate some of those responsibilities would be outstanding.
If I want to volunteer for one of those positions, how do I contact you, or how do I get involved?
Certainly, you can contact me either email at commander@lincolnveteransparade.org, or on our website. There's a volunteer form that you can get on there, lincolnveteransparade.org. And then you can also, if you need to give me a call or shoot me a text, you can send that 402-580-2084.
Excellent ways to get involved. And you are being very inclusive about this as far as wanting your outreach to go as far as it can. And if people can't be there in person that day, you still have options.
Yes, we have partnered up with LNK TV, and they will do a live broadcast at the Capitol building area. They have 2 to 3 cameras set up, and so it'll be on LNK TV on the TV network and also streamed live on their website.
It's awesome. A great way for folks to participate in the parade, even if they can't make it down there that morning. I know the parade and all of the planning and the work couldn't happen without some great sponsors. And I know Sandhills Global, they're your major sponsor this year. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. They signed up with us for last year, and they were kind enough to carry over for this year. They are our host sponsor. They're the big name, Sandhills Global. They're a bunch of great people, and they're going to have their veteran employees in the parade as well. Then the other ones are Barry Law Firm, who are also full of veterans and military service members. Then there's Smithfield Foods. And of course, City of Lincoln has put in their 2 cents to help with the required amenities.
And KFOR and our sister stations are happy to be helping spread the word on the airwaves as well. We are so in awe of what you're doing and what you continue to do every year. And with the exception of last year when we had a little issue there with the pandemic, but the parade will go on as scheduled on November 7th at 2 p.m. LincolnVeteransParade.org is the website. And again, give us more contact information, Antonio.
Yeah, sure thing. You can always contact us on the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can shoot me an email at commander@lincolnveteransparade.org, or you can go even more old school, mainstream is my phone number, 402-580-2084.
Antonio, thank you for your work, your leadership in making this happen, and for everybody who's involved with the Lincoln Veterans Parade. It's a debt of gratitude that all of us owe to all of our veterans, wartime, peacetime, and I appreciate you stepping forward, taking leadership on this, and making this event happen, particularly for our Vietnam vets who kind of got the short end of the deal when they came home 45 or 50 years ago. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We applaud you. We applaud you too, Antonio, on not only being the commander of this parade, but you are involved in a lot of veterans groups with great passion. And we also know that your mom is a Navy veteran who does her own volunteering. So it's quite the thing in the family. And we appreciate your service to our country and your ongoing service to our community.
Antonio, thank you very much. Still ahead, ways to understand home care when we continue the aging adventure, brought to you by Legacy Retirement Communities. Thank you for staying with us on the Aging Adventure, brought to you by Legacy Retirement Communities on KFOR. I'm Dale Johnson, joined by John and Kathy. While Legacy Retirement Communities would love to welcome you to one of their communities here in Lincoln, it might be home care that suits you. Well, Legacy can help. Legacy can help. Offering advice today is Jen Stickney, Director of Legacy Home Care at Legacy Retirement Communities.
Jen, thanks for joining us this morning. We've started Legacy Home Care in the last couple of years, and I know it's really grown and served a lot of people. Can you give us an idea of what home care is, the real quick rundown?
Yes, absolutely. So home care is going to be those healthcare services, support services that are going to be provided by a professional caregiver in the home of where the individual's living. It can be a private residence, independent or assisted living. So it could be a community or just their independent residence that they currently reside in. Anywhere really someone would call home. Home care provides extra assistance in areas that can be difficult for someone who had maybe just returned home from a surgery or just has kind of gotten to the point in their lives where they cannot do things for themselves as much as they used to. These services can be for a few short hours a day or 24/7 services, depending on their level of care and what their need really is. Home care is non-medical services, so we're not able to do things such as wound care, medication administration, or if someone were to have a feeding tube. These types of cares are going to be more of a skilled nursing type setting. So we can just provide that care up to a CNA level or a certified nursing assistant level. Things such as bathing and showering, toileting, grooming and dressing, transfers, whether it's from their bed to a wheelchair or from the wheelchair to a regular chair, meal assistance. We can do pet care. So if they have a furry little friend, we can take it on a walk or clean the litter box, do things like that. And we also do things like errands, so grocery shopping if they need that, picking up prescriptions, anything else maybe too, just to get them out of the house to enjoy the day.
There are so many choices out there, Jen, and it can be sort of overwhelming whether you're looking for yourself or for somebody you love. So how do you begin to narrow down the choices that are best for you?
So there are certainly a lot of decisions being made when you're selecting a home care agency. First, it is really important to know the difference between a registry and an agency. A lot of people don't understand what the difference is, or that there are even two options that exist. The main differences between an agency and a registry comes down to managing the caregiver. So with a registry, it's going to be an employment service for home care workers, but the registry is just going to refer you the individual's names. So they will not hire or manage the home care workers. They just serve as a middleman providing families with a list of possible candidates for the job. So with a registry, the family or the client is going to have to be responsible for hiring the caregiver, paying them, managing their schedule, doing all that stuff. With a home care agency, the agency will actually manage the caregiver assigned to providing the care. They will charge an hourly rate, and then they will handle all the details of the care. So they will pay the caregiver. You don't have to pay them yourself and then worry about them being a 1099 employee. They do the scheduling, managing the staff, care plans, and replacing the staff if someone happens to, not show up for a shift or call in ill or something like that. If you are using someone off of a registry, unfortunately, as the client, you would be the one that would have to replace that.
Jen, how is home care paid for?
Home care services are generally private pay. Medicare does not cover this type of service. Also, long-term care policies will often have a home care rider on those policies, cover a certain number of hours per day. There's generally a waiting period. All policies do differ. If this is the way of payment, most home care companies will handle the administrative services that go with that. So you don't have to manage those services on your own if long-term care is the way it's going to go. VA benefits can also cover these services. You would just want to make sure that you select a home care agency that actually accepts VA benefits, because not all of them do.
Jen, we only have a couple minutes left here. So can you give us some of the proactive items that a family member can gather together so you've got all this information prior to going into home health care?
The most important thing a family can do is just being very upfront with their expectations and what they want from this agency to take care of their loved one. Communication is really crucial between families and staff. A lot of times there will be a home care coordinator that will meet with the family prior to the services and then follow up as services go along. But letting us know their favorite hobbies, activities, things that they really just like to do, so that agency can add that, extra benefit besides just the care and really getting to know that individual.
So many great bits of information, but it appears we are running out of time, Jen. If somebody wants more information, how would they contact you to learn more about home care?
So we have a phone number. It's 402-525-2100, which is our legacy home care number. And then they can also email me at jen.stickney, STICKNEY, at legacyretirement.com.
Jen, thank you very much. John, how can listeners reach you at Legacy Terrace?
Give me a call at 402-464-5700 or through our website, legacyretirement.com.
And Kathy, I thank you, and the community thanks you for your focus on seniors. You've been doing this quite a while, so thank you again. We'll talk next week. Every Saturday morning, we bring you experts on senior living on the Aging Adventure, brought to you by the Legacy Retirement Communities. I'm Dale Johnson.